Hello, everybody, and welcome to Classic Country Backstories. I'm Colleen Gallagher. Today's episode follows the career of country legend Bob Luman. Bob was an incredible entertainer who was taken away from us way too early. I'm so happy I got to sit down with Bob's daughter, Melissa Luman Phillips, in Nashville for a chat. The visit will be at the end of this episode. Now, on with Classic Country Backstories. Nashville, Tennessee, country music capital of the world, home of the Grand Ole Opry, where singers and dreamers come seeking stardom. Join me as we learn about the lives and careers of those who built this town on Classic Country Backstories. Robert Glenn Luman was born April 15, 1937, to Joe and Levine Luman. He was raised in Nacogdoches, Texas. Bob Luman was introduced to country music through his father, who played fiddle, guitar, and harmonica in local bands. Bob received his first guitar at the age of 13. The family moved to Kilgore, Texas, where Bob attended high school. It was during this time that he started his first band. Bob was a great baseball player at Kilgore High School and even tried out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. However, he didn't make the team. At this period in his life, he began to focus on a music career. In 1956, Bob won a talent contest sponsored by the Future Farmers of America. The win earned him an appearance on the Louisiana Hayride in Shreveport, Louisiana. Bob formed a backup band called The Shadows with James Burton on guitar, James Kirkland on bass guitar, and Butch White on drums. In 1957, he signed with Imperial Records and recorded a song called All Night Long. The same year, he and the Shadows were televised on the Town Hall Party in Los Angeles and appeared in a movie called Castle Rock, backing David Houston. Bob moved to Capitol Records in 1958, where he recorded Try Me and I Know My Baby Cares. Capitol wanted to change his name, but he refused. So he parted from the label and moved to Warner Brothers, where he recorded Class of '59 and Loretta. In 1960, Bob was drafted into the U.S. Army. He was stationed in Missouri. He would depend on 3-day weekend passes to fly to Nashville to record. While serving in the Army, Warner Brothers released his best-known crossover hit, Let's Think About Livin'. The song went to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 9 on the Billboard Country chart. The song also reached the top 10 in the UK singles chart. During his time in the military, he could not promote his records through personal appearances, which kept his career from flourishing. Record sales were disappointing as a result. Bob was released from the Army and moved to Nashville in January of 1963. There, he began to record for Wesley Rose's Hickory record label. At this point, his genre transitioned from rockabilly to country. On August 12, 1964, he married Barbara Tisman in Yuma, Colorado. Bob became a member of the world-famous Grand Ole Opry on September the 8th, 1965, along with Connie Smith. Bob and Barbara Luman became proud parents of Melissa Claire Luman on June 17, 1966. Melissa was gracious enough to allow me to use some of her family pictures. Although Bob traveled extensively, it's obvious that he enjoyed his time that he had when he was off the road and with his family. In 1968, Bob joined Epic Records, where he had 15 chart hits and 4 top 10s over the next decade, including Still Loving You. He also released Lonely Women Make Good Lovers, which became his biggest hit, coming in at number 4 on the country charts. Steve Wariner, who was a former member of Bob Luman's band, recorded Lonely Women Make Good Lovers in 1984 and also took the song to the number 4 position. Other hits released by Luman were Ain't Got Time to Be Unhappy in 1968, When You Say Love in 1972, Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye in 1973, and The Payphone in 1977. Bob toured frequently and became very popular in Las Vegas in the 60s and 70s, mixing country and rockabilly music in his live shows. In 1975, I performed on the Norval Dollar Show on KPLR Channel 11 in St. Louis, Missouri. Bob Luman was on the show, and I had the opportunity to visit with him. He was such a nice man. I remember that he was very upbeat, he was a happy guy, and he was really nice to this 9-year-old kid. When he performed, he commanded the attention of the audience. He was a dynamic performer. My meeting with Bob Luman has always been something I have cherished. It is people like him that up-and-coming singers should watch and learn from. In February 1976, Bob Luman underwent surgery in a Dallas hospital to repair a ruptured blood vessel in his esophagus. He suffered continuing health problems after the surgery. He returned to the Grand Ole Opry on August the 17th, 1976, for his first appearance since surgery. Luman resumed recording and performing on popular television shows, including Pop Goes the Country. Bob's last album for Epic was called Alive and Well. It was produced by Johnny Cash. 4 of Cash's songs were on the album, including I Still Miss Someone. The album also included 4 songs written by Steve Wariner. In addition, Bob included a version of Don Gibson's Sweet Dreams. The album was released in 1977. Bob Luman performed on the Grand Ole Opry for the last time on December 15, 1978. Bob Luman died on December 27, 1978, after a 10-day hospital stay for pneumonia. He was only 41 years old. His memorial service was held at the Alexander Funeral Home in Gallatin, Tennessee. Johnny Cash sang at the service, and Ralph Emery eulogized his longtime friend. Bob was laid to rest at Woodlawn East Cemetery, now known as Hendersonville Memorial Gardens in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was survived by his wife Barbara, daughter Melissa, 12, and his parents, Joseph and Levine Luman. Following his death, Bear Family Records released several compilations of his songs, including More of That Rocker, Still Rockin', and Carnival Rock. Bob's song Lonely Women Make Good Lovers was featured in the 1988 movie Rain Man. Barbara Luman passed away on August the 2nd, 2007. Bob Luman was inducted into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame in Carthage, Texas in 2007. Part of State Highway 21, just east of Nacogdoches, has been renamed the Bob Luman Memorial Highway. It was dedicated on April 15th, 2016, which would have been Bob's 79th birthday. Melissa Luman, the only child of Bob and Barbara Luman, continues to pay homage to her father's legacy by singing his songs at events such as the Next Generation Show held yearly in June in Nashville, Tennessee, as well as other occasional shows. Here are some excerpts from my conversation with Melissa Luman Phillips. By the time your dad was around 20, he already had a deal with Capitol Records.
He did, yeah.
It's just pretty amazing, and he was such a showman.
He was. He was an entertainer's entertainer.
When Bob Luman came to the Opry, I'm sure that he shook things up a little bit.
He sure did. He was actually one of the first ones to bring a big set of drums to the Opry. You know, the Opry, when they started out, just had a little snare drum. Larry Weekly was the drummer. And my dad brought a big drum set, and Mr. Acuff was not real happy with that.
Bob helped a lot of musicians
Yes, he
through
did.
the years. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. Actually, we'll start with James Burton, was his first guitar player. And they went to California, and Ricky Nelson stole James. So James and James Kirkland and James Burton also went to Ricky Nelson. And then later on to Elvis Presley. But my dad had Steve Wariner, Buddy Cannon, Roy Buchanan. He had some of the very best.
He did the Opry a lot. He was on the Opry quite a bit. You know, I'm sure when you were young, you spent some Saturday nights back there.
Running around backstage, getting in trouble for running. Minnie Pearl would yell at us, and I think a couple of times Hawk's mom told us to stop running, and yeah, we were pretty wild back there.
How old were you when your father passed?
I was 12.
You have a lot of special memories of him.
I do.
Is there anything special that you want to share with us? A story or anything that kind of comes
Well,
to mind?
this is probably the most special thing there is, that we come together and sing the songs that made our parents famous. We keep their music and memories alive.
Sure.
I think there's only 2 out of this show whose parents are still living, Johnny Rodriguez and Johnny Lee. Everybody else has passed away.
You are an excellent singer as
Oh,
well.
gosh, thank
You're an
you.
incredible singer. Now, do you perform regularly, or is
No,
this just...
I'm a mortgage loan officer. That's my regular job. I just do this just to have fun.
How many years have you done this?
This is our 14th year. I think it's our 14th year.
And here at the Troubadour,
Yeah.
so the home of the Midnight Jamboree,
Yeah.
that's where it was done for years and
We
years.
actually did our very first show in a barbecue in Franklin, Tennessee.
So it's really expanded.
Yeah,
And I know your
yeah.
crowds have been great.
Yeah.
You're doing really well with
Yeah.
that. So every year you do this on the Thursday going into CMA Fest,
We
correct?
kick off, well, we don't call it CMA Fest, we call it Fanfare.
It's fanfare, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We always do it on Thursday to kick off Fanfare.
It's a very, very special thing you're doing, and there are a lot of people out there that love to hear
Yeah.
traditional country
Yep.
music.
You're exactly right.
And thank you for all your hard work
Well,
putting this
thank
together.
you. I appreciate you being here.
Melissa Luman Phillips, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of Classic Country Backstories. If you like what you saw, please make sure and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for further episodes. Until next time, God bless, take care, and I'll see you later.